Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Voltaire here, another topic that I'd like to talk about in depth, and this one deals with 5G towers. Now, I've made a previous video. There's a lot of disinformation out there, and people need to know the difference between disinfo campaigns and actual legitimate uh, news or actual findings that link whatever these conspiracy theorists are claiming to the original source. Now, 5G towers are not new. As I mentioned in the previous video, Chicago was among the first to have these types of installments erected here. Rush Hospital, for example, was one of them. It has its benefits, connectivity, all these types of like advancements in our modern age of technology. However, a few key questions arise from the general populace, and that is it safe? What are the levels of radiation? Are they foreign? Were these, foreign based to spy on us? And do we really need more technology now? Or are we going backwards in terms of progress? What do I mean by that? Basically, you advance too far ahead in a certain aspect where, for example, technology. It can have a negative impact on not just the people, but technology as a whole. People keep talking about how AI is going to take over and how it can be dangerous. And quite frankly, I do believe it can be. AI has developed its own language. That should be alarming. And I'm pretty sure that the grids running 5G are controlled by AI, not humans. That's a little alarming, because if a machine becomes sentient and it has access to all this control technology, just think about what it means. That is dangerous, okay? Very dangerous. And I am not on either side of, hey, we can't have any AI, or no, we can't have any 5G. But I do feel that the concerns people have are very real and warranted. A few people read and a few people know what's going on, but I just want to stress the fact that there are certain elements people neglect. In my local neighborhood, we have had a few 5G towers installed. However, there were some that were already there prior to that. People just weren't aware. So you can view it as a propaganda thing from the mainstream media, or you could just view it as people actually waking up and realizing and having legitimate concerns. Now, for reference, I'm in Illinois, and I have a post here, and this guy says, so I recently noticed a 5G tower next to redacted. Trying to get an idea of how many are in the neighborhood. Any opinions if these are live yet? This one is located at redacted by the park playground area. And then you have a few people talking about, how many more. Someone also is aware Chicago has had 5G for over a year. How do you know it's a 5G tower? One at redacted school, some streets, and yeah. So there are quite a few in the area. However, there is a committee working on a plan to reduce the radiation in relation to the other tech frequencies still in effect. We still have 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, all that. So it's like sub-layered. It's like, for an analogy, when you step outside, you're wearing clothes, right? You don't just step out bare naked. Sort of how 5G, I'm not good at analogies, but sort of how 5G works. So you have all these sub-layered things the same way we clothe ourselves. And a lot of people are saying, oh, great, there goes the neighborhood with more people being sick with the radiation. Oh, well, someone brought up I don't know if it's true. She said, that's why I've been getting a lot of headaches for the past year. Why the fake news didn't tell anyone about it. I'm pretty sure that coronavirus is a different way of saying 5G side effects. But no one cares about being fried alive as long as the internet and data is fast. So fast, when we cross the street, they can know exactly our poop schedule. Anyways, I'm glad that there's some type of, comedic value to that. However, very real concerns, as I've expressed. Someone said, you can't possibly believe 5G has the ability to give you a viral infection. And then we have another person that says, I believe 100% that 5G is terrible for us. There has been studies done, and no one will change my mind on that. So the community is pretty divided. Now, I just like to chime in and give my opinion that's factually based. So, first and foremost, 5G has not yet been officially proven to cause these things. First and foremost. So, however, if you need like a point of reference, previous technology like 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and most of the technology we use that emit any form of a wave have been shown to cause health problems in a large portion of the population. However, there's so many statistics and there's so many types of technology that it would take hours to go through every single thing. So I'm going to stick to the basics, which I just mentioned. So the USA has a similar technology called HARP that is jointly operated by many entities that are part of our DoD. So it's basically a defense against other attacks, if you will, from foreign interference to however the hell they operate. There's conspiracy theorists that say, oh, it's mind control. However, as I've stated, here's where it gets a little murky. So, similar to HARP technologies, the current situation, from what many have made clear, is that these technologies were brought in and manufactured abroad. Stay with that point. That raises concerns as well as what it means to be near these. Some are very close. Very, very close. In small trials, it has shown to have negative effects on animals as well as plant life. Bees, for example, are highly sensitive to all of these types of disruptions and any other category of the things I referenced prior to that. And as you all know, bees saw a decline worldwide due to these types of things, and a lot of people were saying they actually did experiments where they used these technologies and they showed how the bees were just spinning in a circle, and basically it was very scary to see how it affected them. I attached a picture in this post, which I'll show you guys in the description or at a later date. And it shows how there's two cell phone towers or 5G towers, and they are so close to each other. There's not even 30 meters within them. Or, I can't really gauge how far they are, but they are very close. And it happens to be at a shopping district where, many people shop, they tend to frequent. And a lot of people have raised concerns over that, not just specifically that area, but overall. And yeah, I believe the people have a right to know. However, we don't know yet. And if they did come from abroad and it's some type of, people say conspiracy, well, it's being looked into apparently. There has been a commission announced by, I believe, AG Barr, which has talked about possibly reducing these types of negative impacts if they exist and reinforcing the positive effects that it may have or in relation to connectivity and accessibility. For reference, all this research that I delved into came from a reputable source and apparent declassified Air Force documents that are in the public domain. Not related to 5G, but specifically related to HARP. High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, which has the capabilities to travel long distances. And as far as 5G causing coronavirus, I've heard it all by now. People have said it triggers it. People have said that it's responsible for it. Others have stated it's combating it. There's so many angles people are stating that you really cannot rely on credible media anymore. You kind of have to do your own research and really ask yourself, what are the effects? Is it safe? And When is that commission going to actually look into these things? And with that, I'd like to bring the video to a close, and please let me know what you think in the comments. What is your personal opinion? Do you believe this is a bad type of technology? Are we heading in the right direction in terms of advancement? Let me know in the comments, and stay safe. Keep practicing the safety guidelines. I'm by no means enforcing a totalitarian siding, yet I do believe that people are kind of using this whole lockdown as an excuse to engage in like a form of civil disobedience that's not really necessary. I mean, you got people licking toilets, you got people that are like robbing places. It's like an excuse. Anyways, that's a separate matter altogether. However, let's stick on the actual premise. Are these technologies harmful? What is being done? Will AG Bar deliver? And is our current administration equipped to actually fight back in case these are targeting our people in a negative way? Have a good night, good evening, and good morning.